Hello, everyone. I didn't want to do an individual review of this pen, but I figured I might as well because I was going to talk about a certain aspect regarding its case. This is, as you can see, the Levenger L-Tech pen. And I have mine in the green finish. I guess I don't know if they call it sage or whatever they call it. I think it's a lovely color. And it's kind of interesting because there are, I guess, 6 or 7 colors of this pen that you can get it in. But if you get it in kind of the off colors, there's like a medium brown, there's a even paler green than this one, and this color, and they cost regularly half the price of the other colored pens. And the only difference is the color of the pen. So if you're not picky about the colors, you can get a less, the exact same pen for less if you go with one of the other colors. But this is the color I would have chosen anyway because it's I love the green color. I'm into green pens for some reason. Anyway, this is one of those pens that people love or they hate, and it's a heavy brass pen. It's got some heft to it, but the cap on and off is rather smooth because you have metal threads here which are not sharp at all, and they're going into a plastic insert inside the cap so that it feels like you're screwing into butter. I mean, it's smooth, it's soft, and there's just a touch of resistance right at the end before it closes, and so you know that it's closed. And I've never had this one unscrew on its own, even though it unscrews in less than one turn. Let's see if we can do that here. Yeah, so it's about 3/4 of a turn and it's off, which is nice if you're into quickly opening pens. And it is 7-sided, which is kind of an oddity. You would expect it to be 6 or 8 because things tend to be even-sided, but this one is a 7-sided pen. Mine is a broad, which I believe I have. No, I haven't messed with this one yet. I tend to mess around with the nibs that I have because I like italics, and I like the flow of many of the broad pens out there. This one I haven't messed with yet, and it looks to be like a number 5 nib, and this one is a juicy writer. I have no complaints about how it writes at all. But for those of you who do not like a fat, wet line, this is not the one to get. You might be better off with a fine or an extra fine. But this one may be a candidate later on for either an italic or an Arabic grind. But for now, it's a good writing pen. It comes with a converter. For some reason, it wasn't attached, but it is a decent converter. It's got the Levenger logo on it. It works pretty well. You just push it in snugly there. Few threads there to keep it on. One of the things that some people do or don't like about this one is the knurling on the section here. For me, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel that it's rough enough to bug me at all, and it does give really good purchase on the pen while you're writing with it. And the nice thing about it too is that it's long enough that for those of you who like to choke up on the nib, you can get close to it and still have a good grip, or back off a little bit and still have a good grip. So it's nice. I think that this is a decent pen if you're into kind of industrial design, more modernist type things, and you want a heavy, substantial pen. This is a really good option, particularly if you get one of the off colors, because I paid around $30 for this one. Maybe it was even less than that. I don't remember. But one of the things that's interesting about this pen is that you can unscrew this finial on the top of the cap. For some reason, it's really sticking right now. Oh, there we go. So this unscrews, and you can then put on it one of 2 different types of tablet stylus tips. This is the rubber one, and then this is that I don't know, cloth, whatever they call it. The cloth one works really well. I like it better than the rubber one. And these will wear out, but Levenger does sell them separately if you want to replace them. But I think personally, it looks goofy with that little nub on the top there. But if you want to use this on your tablet and then write some notes, use it on your iPad or whatever, you've got it on hand, and then you can be scribbling notes as well. So it's a decent pen. One of the things that some people, I haven't heard them complain per se, but do say about it is that it is a knockoff. It is not a knockoff. It is definitely inspired, however, by this pen. This is the Venerable Rotring 600. This one I have had for many years, going on, 20 years now. And as you can see, it has a very similar design. It's got that knurled end here. It too is a cartridge converter pen. It too is made out of brass, so it is substantial. It is not as heavy as the Levenger though, partly because it's thinner. And this one is a 6-sided design. It's got an O-ring at the back here with a little more knurling. I'm not sure what the knurling's for other than looks, but the O-ring holds the cap quite well. However, when you post it, that is a super long, goofy pen. You can do it, but it's kind of ridiculous, so I never do that. And the O-ring holds it really well. The one huge problem this pen has, well, let's talk about something else. It is a snap cap, and there are teeth kind of around the edge here that match into slots on the barrel. So the barrel matches into slots in the cap so that it aligns with the 6 sides every time. The huge problem this pen has, any of you who've owned one of these, is that the mechanism that grabs onto the section inside the cap to cap it and hold it is weak. And you see that? It falls out. I put this in my pocket, and every single time the pen will come apart. It is just too weak. It does not hold on to the section at all. And I mean, it's sad. Otherwise, I would use the pen far more because it is a beautiful, beautiful writer. It's a nail. I mean, it's hard as it's super, super hard and stiff, but buttery, buttery smooth. It is one of the smoothest nibs I've ever used. But again, it's not terribly usable unless I keep it in a pen case, which leads me into the segue into what I was going to talk about. The case that this Levenger comes in is really kind of cool. Oops, it won't fit in there with the stylus attached, which, could bug some people. And I suppose you could cut like a little notch in the foam right here for it to fit with the stylus tip on it. If you wanted to carry this pen around in a case, carrying it around in the case that it comes in is not a bad idea. I mean, look at this. It's industrial, it's strong, it's aluminum, it keeps the pen super safe in there. You've got your stylus tips right there, but it's kind of big for just one pen is what I was thinking, or every time I look at it, it's like, gosh, I could fit a couple more pens in there. Well, truth be told, I have purchased 2 of these. The last one I had, and the reason I talked about having the tip ground to an italic, is that the first one I bought was an italic. It was ground. It was a broad that I ground to an italic, and this was the case that it came in. The trouble is that it got taken from me. Maybe I left it on I'm pretty sure that I left it on a table at a conference, and when we came back for the next session, it was gone. Who took it, I have no idea, but it was obviously taken because I was there with just me and my backpack and nothing else. And so, anyway, it was taken. It wasn't a terribly expensive pen. Like I say, it was around $30, which, that bugged me, but it didn't make me cry. But I liked the pen enough that I bought another one because I really do like the pen. And so that gave me the opportunity to take the old case and to make it into a 3-pen case. So basically, I pulled out the foam insert that held the pen, and then I inserted a little bit of that tray material, that pen tray material that you get from Go Pens, such as what I've put in my other pen cases if you've seen that video. And this way now I can throw 3 pens in here and carry them with me, and they can be safe. My more delicate celluloid pens here, a couple old Schaefer's, and how about a Skyline? Let's drop a Skyline in there. So these 3 pens are going to be in there nice and safe. The top is padded and felted, and then it's got this, these pen beds, and then you close it up, and there's a little bit of rattling, but not much. And this would really keep your pen safe if you're taking with you in your backpack, and I have done that from time to time, particularly if I'm going on a longer trip, and things are going to get knocked around a bit. But that is another option for you. So if you do end up buying the Levenger L-Tech, you might consider ripping out the foam and turning it into a 3-pen case, because you could also put this into this like that with the stylus tip on there, and then 2 other pens, and take them with you, and away you go. So that's a kind of a cool option. And again, if you didn't watch my video on pen storage, you get these pen beds. They come in a rather large sheet. I don't know if they were 16 by 18. I don't know. They're really big sheets, and you cut them down to size with a pair of scissors from GoPens.com, and they're inexpensive, and they come in several colors. Anyway, thanks again for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.